Yes, so let us start this particular session. I hope I am audible, right? Please let me know in the chat box. Am I audible? Yeah. So let us start this particular session. In our previous sessions, we have started with the discussion of our functional coverage. Let's continue that particular discussion. Before that, let me share my screen. Yeah, I hope my screen is also visible, right? Yes. Now, we have started with in our previous sessions, we have started with what do you mean by regression and what type of test cases are there, and why it is called as regression, and what is the type of coverages you have, code coverage and functional coverage. What is the difference between a code coverage and what is the difference between your functional coverage? And we have also seen why are we using this functional coverage and how to define a particular coverage, like what is a keyword which we are going to use for coverage, and what is the syntax for declaring your coverage we have seen. And after that we have started with the concept of cover point. What do you mean by cover point we have seen, and what is the different type of explicit bins and implicit bins we are going to have we have seen. And after that we have seen how we are going to calculate the percentage of coverage, right? And also we have seen an example without explicit bins and how we are going to get the percentage of coverage we have seen. This and all we have discussed in our previous sessions, right? Any doubts or any queries in this? I hope you have watched the recordings also. If you haven't watched the recording, I recommend you to please go through the recording so that you can be in continuation with whatever the topic which we are discussing today, right? Yes. So let us continue with our discussion with the other kind of bins which we are going to have. So in our previous sessions, when we were discussing about bins, those bins were explicit. That means you are not creating the bin. So according to the size of the variable, the bins were creating. For here, it is 2 power n, that is 2 power 4. 16 bins were created. And here 2 power 3, that means 8 bins were created, right? And over here, you're not creating any particular bin, right? Now, over here in this particular example, we are implicitly creating the bins. Okay, here we are creating the bins, right? Now, what do you mean by creating bins is you can use this particular concept where you're going to write down bins B1, 1, 10, 12. That means here three bins will be created. Okay. And let's say if I'm going to write down bins B2, 2 down to 9 and 11. For this, only two bins will be created. And here, four bins will be created from 0 to 7. Okay. So, what is going to happen here over here? Uh, we are going to have one bin dedicated from 2 to 9 values and one bin created for 11. If the value 11 has been occurred whenever the test case is written such that the value of 11 is being written or given, then this particular bin will be hit. Or else, if any value between 2 to 9 is being given, this particular bin will be hit. What happens if you are going to explicitly create the bins? Sorry, this is not implicit, I mean explicit. Explicit in the sense you are going to create the bin. Okay. Now, what happens if you are going to explicitly create the bin? That means the chances of getting more coverage will be increased. That's it. Okay. Now let's take a simple example and let us try to understand how these bins are working and what do you mean by explicit bins. And there is something known as ignore bins. Okay. So what do you mean by ignore bins is basically ignore bins are used to specify a set of values or transition that can be excluded from the coverage. If we are going to declare any particular bin as ignore bin, that particular bin will be ignored from the coverage analysis. Okay. And there is something known as illegal bin. So this particular illegal bin is used to specify some kind of illegal bin. So that particular value, let's say if a particular value one should not occur in your particular test, then if it is occurring by chance, then to illegally point it out, you are going to use this particular illegal bins. Okay. Let us try to understand these examples with one code. Let me open the Questasim. So this is the Questasim tool which is going to look like, and I've already written a code. So this is a code for my traffic light controller. Let me zoom in a little bit so that you can able to see it. One minute. So in this particular example, we are going to see the example for explicit bins, illegal bins, ignore bins, and transition bins. Let us try to understand what do you mean by this. So I've taken a particular design, which is a traffic light controller, which has clock, reset, and state as its input and output. And this state has been declared as enum. So we have different enum variables: red, yellow, green, and off. So we have two variables: current underscore state and next underscore state, which can only have this values. Okay. And with passage of clock, I'm basically going to current state to red, or else I'm going to next state. Now, depending upon my current state, if current state is red, I'm going to green. If my current state is green, next state to yellow. If current state is yellow, next state is red. And default next state is red. And whatever the current state, we are going to give it to my state. That's it. This is what I'm going to do. So I'm just blinking the LED from red to green, green to yellow, yellow to red. That's it. Okay. This is my design which I'm going to have. Now, in my test bench, what I'm going to have is I'm going to instantiate my design and I'm going to generate a clock. Now, I'm going to write down a coverage class. I can write down the coverage directly in the module, or I can declare a class and I can write down my coverage. Anything is fine, right? Now, over here, I've declared a particular variable which is known as state, and I'm going to write down cover group. If you want to perform coverage, you need to have a cover group present. So I'm going to use a keyword cover group and followed by cover group name, and at which event you need to run this particular coverage. So I'm going to have that particular event, which is clock, passage of clock. And here, if you carefully observe, I'm going to use explicit bins. So bins red underscore bin. Here I've created an explicit bin which is equal to 2 tick binary 0 0. And yellow underscore bin 2 tick binary 0 1, and green underscore bin 2 tick binary 1 0. If 2 tick binary 1 0 has been if 2 tick binary 1 0 has been generated, then this bin will be hit, or else this bin will not be hit. Okay. And coming to illegal bins, I'm giving off underscore bin as 2 tick binary 1 1. Like if 2 tick binary 1 1 value has been generated, then this particular bin will be hit, and it will be marked as illegal. And 2 tick binary 1 0, we are considering it as ignore bin. Okay, let us assume it. Just for example, I'm showing. So I'm assuming 2 tick binary 1 0 as ignore bin. I'm basically ignoring it. If I'm going to get the value of 2 tick binary 1 0 generator also, I'm not going to consider it. And also the transition bins. So here the transition bins I'm going to take is red to green. So if I'm going to basically, this particular bin is going to hit when there is a transition from 0 0 to 1 0. And green to yellow, this particular bin will be hit when there is a transition from 1 0 to 0 1. And yellow to red, this particular bin will be hit when 0 1 to 0 0 transition is going to happen. And full cycle bin will be hit when the transition from 0 0 to 1 0 to 0 1 and 0 0, it is going to happen. Okay, so these are all the explicit bins which I have created over here, and there is an automatic bin or default bin, or it is also known as implicit bin. So it is implicit bin. That means for this st, whatever the variable which I have declared over here, so this particular st, uh, two down, one down to zero, that means 2 bits, right? So total 4 bins will be created. Okay. So this is 4 automatic bins will be created by default. And after this, within a new function, I need to create the coverage instance. That's it. This is how I'm going to create the bins. Is it clear, guys? Implicit bins, explicit bins, transition bins, ignore bins, are they clear? Any doubts or any queries? That's great. Okay. Now, so what I'm going to do over here, I'm going to run the stimulus. So I'm going to create the instance of my class, and I'm applying reset and removing the reset, and c1.st is equal to state. So whatever the value which we have over here, right? Let me show you. From the design, current underscore state is given to my state. So current underscore state will be changing from red to green, yellow. So this current underscore state is given to state, and this state is declared as output. So in my test bench, I'm collecting this state. Okay, so that is what I'm doing over here. Let me show you in the test bench. So over here, c1.st. So whatever the st variable which we have declared inside my class, right? So to this particular variable st, to this particular variable st, let me show. To this particular st, I'm assigning the design output, which is nothing but state. Okay. So c1.ht is equal to state, and I'm displaying the value of state. And what I'm going to do, let me comment this. This is not necessary for now. Let me comment to them. Yeah. And after assigning, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get the coverage report or coverage percentage, which I'm going to have. That's it. Just I'm running the clock and I'm assigning the value of design output to my class variable ht so that I can have the coverage to this particular ht variable. I can have the coverage rate. That's the reason I'm assigning it. Okay. Is it clear? Any doubts or any queries in this? Yes, ignore bins will not be covered inside your coverage. It will not be considered for your coverage calculation, whereas illegal bins will be marked for your coverage calculation. If the bin is hit, then bin will be marked. It is said to be hit. Okay. Let me run it and let me show you how it is going to work. So first of all, let me save this. So you can right click on it and click on compile, select it. So compilation is successful. Next, you can click on simulate and start simulation. And the design name over here is TV underscore traffic. And after that, you can click on just run all and click no so that coverage has been done. And you can see we are going to get 91.67 percentage coverage. Now, to check which bins are hitting and which bins are missing, we can go to tools over here and there will be something known as coverage report. Go to HTML and click on source code, all coverage types, assertions, cover groups. Assertions, we haven't written anything. And you can keep this directives and all code coverage. Code coverage also we are not checking it. Just we are going to check for the functional coverage. Code coverage we will check later. Now, so you can see this kind of window is going to have a number of test cases run is only one. Pass it is 0, warning is 1, and error is equal to 0, fatal is equal to 0. So here we have an option which is known as cover groups. Click on this cover groups and click on this cover group instance. And you can click on this cover group instance. So you're going to have different kind of coverages which have been generated. So first let's check the auto bin. So in the auto bin, as I've said you, so automatically four bins will be created for auto 0, auto 1, auto 2, auto 3. Auto 0 is nothing but state 0, 0. Okay, let me show you what is auto 0 means. So auto 0 means state state value if it is equal to 0, 0. Okay, that means what is 0, 0, 0, 0 means red, next yellow, next green. Okay, here anywhere we are not going to off, right? That's the reason this particular off is not equal to 1, 1, 1 off. I mean the state value is not equal to off. That means state value is not equal to 1, 1. So that's the reason this bin is not been hitting. It is 0 only. Okay. Now, and let me show you the another bin which we have created. Ignore bin we have disabled. Okay. Okay, let me turn on the ignore bin. Yeah, before that, red bin, uh, at least one time we should hit. It is hitting for 4 times, and yellow bin, it is hitting for 5 times. So you can see over here in my test bench. So red bin, it is hitting, and yellow bin, it is hitting. And what about the green bin? No. Yeah, it has been ignoring. You can see over here. And illegal bin, it is being disabled. So ignore bin, it is being ignored for this particular coverage analysis. So you can see over here ignore bin. Yeah, ignore bin I've included in my uh, I've included ignore underscore green. I mean the green bin as ignore. So that's the reason. I mean 10 I'm basically considering as ignore bin. That's the reason it is being ignored in the coverage analysis. Is it clear, guys? Uh, better, like presently, we can focus upon this particular session. We will discuss like the other things later. Let me know, is it clear? What do you understand by this ignore bins and the other kind of bins? Is it clear? Okay. Now let me have this illegal bin declared also. Let me uncomment this. And before that, let me show you the other kind of bins which we are going to get. Where is this coverage report? Okay, I think it is closed our port. Yeah, over here. And next is transition bins. So red to green, at least one time it should hit. Yeah, it is hitting for 4 times. Green to yellow, yes. And yellow to red, yes. And full cycle, yes, it is hitting. Okay, only the auto bin, the one state it is missing. That's it. Okay, guys. Yes or no? Any doubts and any queries in this?